So Vernon, as we all know that this very common question that many people have about public speaking is this fear about public speaking. So is there any good tip that you have for anyone who has this constant fear for public speaking or stage fright?
Actually, fear is an inbuilt human mechanism designed to preserve ourselves. Fear is natural. If you know anybody that has no fear, that person will probably be dead very soon because he doesn't know how to preserve himself. Fear is absolutely natural, it's totally normal, right? But however, we can learn how to manage fear. For example, we all get hungry. Hungry is a normal human reaction. But do you rush off and eat immediately the moment you feel a little bit hungry? Or do you learn how to manage your hunger? You learn how to manage your hunger, and that's exactly how we public speakers handle fear. There is no public speaker in the world today, not even Obama, and I'm sure if Steve Jobs was around you agree, not even Steve Jobs. Everybody is afraid. So how do we go about handling fear? First, we understand fear is natural. And what is fear? Fear means false evidence appearing real. Fear don't really exist. It doesn't exist as much as a table exists or a chair exists. And the reason we feel fear is because we are afraid of what people are thinking of us. That's actually what most public speakers are afraid of when they're on stage. So how do you overcome this? First of all, you have to imagine it in your head, because where does fear reside? Fear resides in your mind. So if you want to handle fear, you must handle it in your mind. Tell yourself first, take deep breaths, and know that everybody there in the room, okay, cannot do what you are going to do. No, know it in your mind. Do you think anybody ever felt stage fright from going on stage and getting the first in their school? Anybody have stage fright? No, because when you go on stage, you know that nobody in the audience can do what you're doing. That's exactly what public speaking is about. If you go on stage and you know in your mind that nobody in the audience there or can do what you are doing, you will not be afraid. Or your fear level will drop by a lot.
Now, one question that we have is something to do with fear as well, because understanding that at times, you know, people might be speaking in front of the audience and then there's this loss of words. So what would be a suggestion, you know, Vernon, that we can actually...
There are many contexts in your speech, what kind of speech you're giving, so on and so forth. But what I found to be very useful when you're giving a speech or a presentation and you suddenly get a loss for words, is you ask the audience a question. Ask the audience a question. So when the audience is answering your question, you have more time to think. Plus, you're giving yourself more materials to process what you're doing. And if all else fails, acknowledge. Just say that, okay, that's all enough for this point, let's move on to the next point. If your mind is utterly and completely blank, you know nothing, refer to your notes. If you have no notes, ask them another question, and then you build from that question and you continue to speak from that question. And you apply techniques and tools to generate content and to bring the conversation forward. There are such tools around to generate content.
Great, thanks Vernon so much.
Thanks.